Revenge is a dish best served cold, and it's Heim time that someone got it. Welcome to the Tri-Oval office. I'm Cayden. That's Grant. What time is it, Grant?
This is a faceless arm device, yet it still tells me it's time.
It is Heim time, arriving a little early, but it is Heim time nonetheless, because we are going for the record for any NASCAR show or production or podcast on how many times we can say Heim time in an episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to up our game. We're already lagging behind, I'm sure.
I was gonna say we're about 3 seconds behind SVG, so we got to get going. But Naval Base Coronado did not disappoint. I think I've been very open about I thought that this race was going to be an absolute cluster, and I was surprised at how well this race was run. It seemed like everyone who was there, especially on Sunday, like there were a lot of problems I think during the truck race, during the O'Reilly race, but the event itself was a lot of fun for the people who were there on Sunday for the big show.
Dude, it was pretty fantastic. I think like you were saying, the production quality was was pretty well done. It was a I wouldn't say it was like the longest race ever. I think it just felt way longer because of how long each lap was. Because they were talking about it, it only ended up being like 3.5 hours, which is not crazy. But when you're talking about 75 laps, 3.5 hours, oh, that's a drag. It felt long.
I was fully
But
anticipating
like,
about a 5.5 hour race.
yes, yeah, we were coming back, and like, I mean, I drove from the lake back home during stage one, and that's not a short drive. And I was like, oh boy. But I was telling McKenna before on Saturday when all that went down, I told her, I was like, this race tomorrow is going to be the longest race in history if there's a really big wreck. I mean, in history. Do we know what was the stat on the O'Reilly
On
race? Do we know how long that was?
I can probably
It
find
was
that.
on. It felt like it was on all. We were like inside. All right, come back. It's still on. Inside, outside. Come back to the up. Still on the TV. It's still only stage two. It felt like the longest race. And the
Um,
massive crash definitely added to that. Obviously,
I can't find any statistics on it. I'm sure they exist somewhere, but
what time did green flag drop? Do you remember? Like two, maybe.
um, no clue. Let me. We
Sorry,
can.
I'm trying to.
Okay, we're completely
We're
derailed. It was a long race.
yeah.
It was a very long race, considering that I thought the racing was good here, though.
Oh, it was
For
really
all
good.
three cars, I do think though if we do more street races in the future, and we'll talk about it, I would not mind leaving the trucks at home.
Yeah.
Because I just don't trust that there's enough competent drivers in the truck series to actually, because you are going to have someone break through the barrier in a long red flag.
Yeah.
Same thing with O'Reilly, really, but we'll talk about it. We've got an actual rundown today. We are
Uh oh. We're
prepared.
we're official. And by rundown, I mean Caden made it, and I'm just going to look at it. I added a sentence.
And I restructured the sentence because I didn't like the way it looked.
That's fair.
Oh, wait, no, it's back. Never mind. Okay. Let's start with the finish because we already mentioned him. Heim. Time. It's his first win in the NASCAR Cup Series, and he got it done battling one of the best, the current points leader, Tyler Reddick. His teammate ran him down after. So let's not beat around the bush. Both the 67 and the, what number does he drive? The 45 both got really lucky with how they timed up the Stenhouse caution, where he was leaking fluid all over the place, hit pit road, because there was a chunk of cars that I felt like Chris Buescher probably had the car to beat today. It was either Chris Buescher or Bubba Wallace, and we'll get into both of those guys later. But that eliminated a lot of contenders that were still around towards the end of this race of just not getting the pit cycle to fall in your favor. So I have a text message in our group chat of I think there's only 5 cars that can win this, and it was Corey Heim, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and Riley Herbst and Kyle Larson, which, what a list, by the way. Just all four 2311 guys and Kyle. So good luck to the five. But it really did feel like those were the only five guys that could win it unless there was a caution. Because I was like, Buscher's going to be able to get through most of this pack. He's just had a good car to do it all day. But I'm not sure he's going to have the time to run down Heim and Reddick and Larson on like 2 lap better tires. It wasn't that big of a difference between their tires. So it wasn't like what happened to Priest where he stayed out on 8 or 9 lap tires and just got eat up by the entire pack.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe there was a chance of a caution. I still think that. I think if there was a caution, I think Chris Buescher might have taken that thing. But we'll see. Either way, we had excellent racing. Corey Heim gets his long-awaited revenge on Carson Hocevar, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Spins him around in the chicane, and then it was just off to the races. It was 32311 cars. Bubba Wallace, Corey Heim, and Tyler Reddick. And you know, MJ and Denny Hamlin were just sitting there, just licking their lips and thinking, "Oh man, we made the right decision," because this was a very, very difficult track, and your guys are 1, 2, 3, and not only your guys, because like, and you made not only like your 3 guys, but it's the 3 guys you're holding on to next year that you said this is the future of my team, and they're 1, 2, 3 for you. So I thought that was amazing to watch, and then Bubba at the end, it just felt like Heim and Reddick had a different gear than even Bubba had. And I thought Bubba had the best car all day. So Heim and Reddick, they're like, oh, they're burning up their stuff. And then it becomes clear they're not really. It's just they're that much faster in clean air. And Hamlin, they pull like 5, 6 seconds ahead of Bubba. Bubba finally just gives up, lets Kyle Larson pass him. And we get a very, very nice battle. Actually reminded me a lot of the first Chicago street course, if you remember, where SVG was chasing down Zane Smith. And Zane Smith, they have a few crossovers, they cross each other up, but it was kind of clear that SVG was the better racer and had the better car. And that's kind of what it felt like, because it was very respectful, but there was still contact. It was still a NASCAR road race. Like, it wasn't like Formula One where we have to give the guy the inside of the corner. No, we're going to race. But there is a line in the sand. Tyler Reddick did ship Corey Heim basically out of the corner. And I will ask you about that move, because I'm seeing a lot of differing opinions about it today. What do you think about Tyler Reddick basically stopping and letting Corey Heim have the position after he, for lack of a better term, shipped him there at the end?
I think it was excellent sportsmanship. I think if it's a non-teammate or if it's pretty much anyone else that's out there, they're probably just going to be like, I'll apologize at the checker flag. But I think Reddick kind of understood the situation.
And he's probably got a spotter in his hit.
I think he knew where he was on the track. And by that time, he hadn't cut a tire. He's 9 seconds ahead of third. And he's like, I don't want to pass my own teammate, a 23-year-old making a part-time that's running the race of his life in this Busch League way that we're gonna be teammates for a long time, probably. I think that was a relationship, not saving, but you know what I mean. Kind of like that goes a long way, I think, because they're gonna be racing together for a long time on the same team. I think if you kind of set a precedent. Because it just kind of that wasn't the first time he kind of shipped him out of a corner either. Like he had done it like back-to-back corners.
And they were racing.
And Heim passed him without touching him.
Yeah, Heim was just better. And then we found out that Reddick cut the tire. I genuinely thought that once Heim, it was like 2 or 3 corners later, he started to pull away. And I was like, oh, Reddick cut a tire. That sucks. But I genuinely thought that Heim was just that much faster.
He did pull away for a minute, and that's when the tire went down. But he already had started to put a couple tenths in between them, like immediately.
So it's really just it's harder to pass somebody than catch them.
Yeah.
Um, Heim burns it down. Fantastic burnout. Hot mic by Prime. Thank goodness it's on Prime and not Fox or TNT or NBC or whatever.
Anybody.
Yeah, what other channel we use nowadays for NASCAR because you can actually swear sometimes. You don't get FCC violations. So, yeah, congratulations to Corey Heim, the first of many, I have to believe. So, yeah,
Only took him 13 starts.
and that's up there with some of the absolute greats in this
And as
sport.
Denny Hamlin said on his podcast, they're like, oh, it didn't take him 100 starts. Denny Hamlin said that's for losers.
So, is that a Hocevar reference or is that a Ty Gibbs reference?
Neither, I don't think. He addressed Ty Gibbs because his Travis was like, they're going to talk about your teammate about that one. And he's like, okay, let's address it. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. He's like, yeah, he was long overdue. I was like, yeah, that's probably fair.
So, I am looking now. We already kind of talked about this, but 2311, what a masterclass. Tyler Reddick was the worst of the four.
He
And
didn't have. I honestly was shocked at that he was, and he got lucky with the cycle. It shows you how much like speed he had. Denny Hamlin talked about it on his podcast again today. I was listening to it just a little bit ago. He thought he was behind him.
just
Denny was like they said the 67 was battling the 45 for the lead on the last lap, and he goes, "What? I thought the 45 was behind us."
he's like,
So,
oh shoot, I thought I had a good points day compared to him, and then he winds up cutting a tire, and we'll get into the points battle here in a minute. But I was very impressed with Riley Herbst because he was top 5 the entire day.
yeah,
He
he ran well.
basically never ran worse than 8th or ninth, and most of that was just pit cycle. He was very consistent. I didn't see any on track incidents. There were a lot though, so I might have to go back and really watch to see if the 35 got
None
into
come to
anybody. But
mind.
I didn't see anything, and I feel like I would have seen it with as much drama was on NASCAR Twitter this morning. So Riley Herbst, very good race. That is the kind of race that is going to get him a Cup Series ride.
Yeah,
And why I think he deserves a Cup Series ride versus some guys in the field that are also getting talked about this weekend and are
you could
getting
do
talked
worse
about
than
for
Riley
bigger rides.
Herbst, which is not something I would have said last year.
Yeah, he's having a fairly competitive year, a very good effort. I think he finished worse than he
He did.
ran.
He kind of fell at the very end.
So I'm looking. Oh, that's the wrong race. Okay. Here we go. Here's Naval Base Coronado. If I can actually pull it up. Thank you, NASCAR website, for being so intuitive. Oh, and there's the ad. Great. Yeah, he ran 8th, but he also came away with 38 points. So he
Yeah.
picked up a lot of stage points.
Almost
And
as many stage points as Ryan Preece.
Ryan Preece, I mean, yeah, we'll get to him, but great day for guys we don't consider traditional road racers.
Yeah.
This track seemed to be it favored a lot of the young drivers, but it also just, for some reason, the main manufacturers were not really a factor. And so you got a lot of these guys that, even though we don't view them as road ringers, were towards the front of the pack. It was a very, very entertaining race in that regard. Speaking of Bubba Wallace, I know Corey Heim won, and I know that Kevin Magnussen had the fastest lap, which we'll get into. I keep saying we'll get into it later, so
We got a lot to get into later.
we got a lot to get into later. There was a lot in this race. It was
There
a
was a
very, very entertaining race. Very long, very entertaining. But Bubba Wallace would be my driver of the day. If we handed out, we can't hand out a Presidential Medal of Freedom, but what can we hand out that's similar? We got to come up with an award for that. Name pending. So if
The
residential,
we'll get demonetized for that.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm just not that we're making any money, anyways.
No. At least that you know about. Anyways.
Keep it, brother.
Bubba Wallace.
All I do is get on here and run my mouth. That's all I do.
Bubba
I don't
Wallace
edit or anything.
would be my driver of the day because he was the fastest car in stage one. He ran down the leaders, Blaney, SVG. He passed Busher. He passed everybody that was coming up through the field. Started like 12th and was in the lead in stage one. Pits with SVG and I can't remember the other guy he pitted with. It was Busher, maybe. I think it was Busher, SVG, and Bubba were all going to flip the stage
I
there at
believe
the end,
so.
and they just don't get the lug nut on, which that's not even a stop where you have to be fast. You just have to be correct because it's not like the leader is going to come around and lap you. It
Yeah.
takes 2.5 minutes to get around this course. So
And
just,
you're pitting backwards. Like it's an awkward
yeah, just be
like focus. Yeah.
I don't understand that one of just you know the assignment, go in, just be slow, get it right, and we're flip the stage. We're back out front for stage two. In hindsight, that move that set Bubba Wallace back 2 laps probably saved his race
Yeah.
because he would have most likely been caught up in the Austin Hill stuff. Maybe he would have done what Busher did and pitted right
Yeah.
before all of that happened, but Bubba just crashing out on the radio, absolutely justified for how well his car ran, holding him in the saddest 2 laps you have imaginable because it takes 20 minutes to get around this racetrack for 2 times under caution. And he's just the entire time just not talking at all. And I think everybody knew it's like there's going to be enough cautions to get Bubba back on the lead lap. But is he going to have that speed? And yes, he did. He absolutely he got his laps back right at the beginning of stage 3 with the stage caution, and he passed everybody again.
Yeah.
So Bubba Wallace, not a traditional road racer, a guy who says he sucks on the road courses, but has obviously put in a lot of work to improve.
My man's been in the sim for sure.
So, and he was good at coat. He's shown some flashes in the past, but this was by far his most complete road section. And we don't know what would have happened. Maybe he gets caught up in an incident or something, but I think he wins this race most likely if he doesn't have to overcome 2 laps of penalties because he might have just left the entire field.
Yeah. Judging by the end, I don't know. It may have been a three-way battle by 23:11 for first, with how much speed they had in the tank left. They were going way faster than qualifying speeds at the end.
Once the rubber was on the track, it was a
It
really
was
really
it was
fast
pretty
track.
sticky. Yeah, it was pretty racy.
So I mentioned it. SVG and Connor Zilisch got Austin Hilled going into turn 1. SVG was overly aggressive the entirety of stage 1 and stage 2. He slammed doors with Priest, which was funny because it was like, I'm going to let you by, but I'm going to hit you first because I don't like that you tried to dive bomb me when I'm on older tires. Just stop. And then just turning a full 360 for Chris Buescher before finally it really caught up with him. He did take it 3 wide. That's not why they all wrecked. It was because Austin Hill forgot where the brake pedal was and just glued all both SVG and Zilisch to the inside. But really, really bad day for SVG because we mentioned, along with Bubba and Buescher, he flipped stage 1 to get the better position to start stage 2, to put himself in a better position to win the race. And so he got 0 stage points. And he finishes second to last. So he takes away 1 point at a track where we penciled him. I mean, not even penciled. I think we put it in pen
Sharpie.
last week. Yeah, that he was going to win. And he takes away 1 total point. An absolute disaster for SVG, who was sitting on the bubble coming into this race. And now he is, if I see correctly, yes, he is now on the outside looking in to the chase, and only 1 road course remaining for SVG.
Yeah, I had some choice words in that first stage for that guy that I will not repeat. That will be forever inscribed in our group chat history. But in summary, he kind of had it coming at this point. Like, you can't make that many aggressive moves. I don't care how good you are at road course racing, and just expect to just keep on living. Like, it's gonna, and it wasn't that it was his fault there at the end when he ended up wrecking, but it's just a matter of you keep putting yourself in those kind of spots, and like
Something's
I
gonna
was
go.
I was expecting Brad to do something about it, honestly, at some point, because the way I mean, first of all, have you ever seen a car do a full 360 and lose one spot?
That was I
One
love that,
spot.
and it was right there in front of the spotters, or else it would have been a really bad wreck.
One
So,
spot. I was shocked. I was so mad for like 2.7 seconds. And then I was like, oh my gosh, go, 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 go. And I was like, wow, he only went from fifth to sixth. And I think he just flat spotted every tire he has.
even the one still in the truck,
Yeah.
just
Those all got flat spotted too. I was like, I'm glad we have that extra set. But yeah, that's, he had it. He kind of had something coming, whether or not it was his fault. It's kind of just also, he's had an impeccable run too of just not
eventually
being in
bad luck.
anything. Like, yeah, it's gonna bite you.
And
And
that's what we
there it
mentioned
was.
at the top is like the wrecks at these things typically happen at the front of the pack and at the back of the pack. So SVG running at the front of the pack, eventually someone is just going to tap him wrong and
Yeah,
ruin his race. That's what happened at Chicago. The second time we were there, where he got DNA, it was him and Larson who battled it out in the at the time Xfinity race for stage one, and it was just an absolute dogfight all of stage one. SVG pokes his thumb out the window and tells him good job and then leaves him. And we're like, ooh, we can see these guys in cup cars, and they both wrecked out early. So it kind of just goes to show you. I mean, even with with a negative 160 line, he finishes second to last.
had it
So
coming. Eventually, it was gonna bite you.
just bad luck happens. It's NASCAR. It's not Formula One.
Yeah,
Like that run of dominance is just so rare in this sport at any style of track.
yeah. That being said, he's gonna win by 27 seconds next week.
He's pissed.
Oh, he's so mad.
So
He's so mad. I
um
still stand by the fact that at some point before he's done racing, AJ Allmendinger will intentionally wreck him on a road course.
just well, it
It's
might be.
gonna happen. It's
I,
gonna happen.
I think this may be the last time he runs a road course in the Cup Series. So
Come
we'll see.
on, Dinger, do it for Dale.
To wreck him though, you got to catch him. That's
That's
always been
true.
the issue with SVG is you got to wreck him to catch him. He is good enough that he was leading. He was mixing it up. I don't think that car was all that great this weekend. He
It
didn't
was.
have.
I don't know. They were talking about that in stage one, and then they're like, "Oh, he's just biding his time." He comes on the radio. I have no rear grip, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh well, yikes."
I was like, I just don't think that his car was good enough to separate himself from the field. It was a very much. It felt like Coda did this year, where it's like your driver will get you in the top five,
Yeah,
barring something stupid happening, like the stupid that happened, Austin Hill, and but he doesn't have the breakaway speed that we saw last year.
yeah.
And Trackhouse was fast. Chastain ran in the top 10 a lot of times. SCG and Zilisch were both mixing it up. Zilisch led his first laps in the Cup Series. So congratulations to Connor. You're not going to Funky Town yet, though. So,
No, short lived there.
um, but as soon as SVG and Zilisch were knocked out of this race, it was already entertaining before that. There were a lot of good battles. You could pass. There was tire wear. But this race took on a whole different meaning because I think everyone had once said, oh, we can actually win this.
And it was like then it was hammered down.
And everyone just so aggressive. It was a really good thing. I will say this, though, before we move on from SVG. I do think that this performance eliminates SVG from the
Probably.
chase. We both had him in last week of like he's
That
going to
was
win.
on the condition of him winning both of them.
Because if he
pretty
wins both
much.
road courses, we were like, he's gonna put himself too far ahead for all 3 or 4 of these guys to catch him.
Yeah,
Inversely, I think Bubba Wallace locked himself in. If you look at
yeah,
the point standings, because it would take a lot for SVG, who is currently in 17th, to catch Bubba Wallace in 11th.
yeah,
So I think you could lock in William Byron and Christopher Bell, and then you have 3 spots left if we're viewing it like that for
yeah.
the chase. We'll get into that probably next week, later this week. I don't know, something like that. Um, I did want to talk about it. I already mentioned there were a lot of incidents, and we have to weigh in. So we already talked about SVG and RFK and the Hill incident and all of that. Kevin Magnussen and Noah Gragson.
That's fastest lap, Kevin Magnussen, to you, sir.
K Mag dumps Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson, after the race, not happy about it. Get just an all-time soundbite. Can't repeat it here. This is a PG show. PG 13.
Family friendly, even
Yeah, some would say. Not
some.
really. Um, yeah, don't let your children watch this show. It'll rot their brains. So I
Just wait
don't.
till we tell them the number of the car he won.
I watched the thing back. I watched back for a while because I just saw where Kevin dumped him, and I was like, oh, yeah, I get why Noah's upset about that. And then I had to watch for a while. Noah was being slow in front of him and just blocking the entire track, weaving like this. And he just gets, it was a bump and run going into a corner, just gets shoved off the inside so that K Mag can pass him. And Noah flicks him off during a caution period. And then during the red flag, they're parked next to each other and flicks him off again. And Noah just kept bumping him. And Noah ships him going to the inside. K Mag has enough and dumps him. Like, just an all time, just, yeah, I'm done with you. Bye. So I really expected to be like, okay, now, like Noah, I don't agree with him a lot of the time, but I agree with him here. Like, that was intentional by K Mag, bad. However, Noah was driving like an idiot, and you kind of get what you get. What are your thoughts?
You reap the consequences of the actions that you sow, and I think that's exactly what happened. I also thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this like look at this F1 idiot coming over here just wrecking dudes that do this for like a living, you know.
And that was
Like
really the only thing
you
too.
gotta
It's
have
just
like
like
some semblance of respect when you're a one off driver, but then you watch everything that happened and you're like, yeah, that was totally valid.
the funniest thing is that they were racing for like 30th though.
Yeah, it was like the battle for and now for the battle for 27th. They're
So,
paying back there and it's just like the most American man you know, just bobbing and weaving around some guy that has never been in a NASCAR before.
which this has unfortunately brought a lot of the Formula One people over there for like the worst Formula One driver in history is better than the best NASCAR driver. And it's just like, no, it's like K Mag has the fastest lap. Yeah, because he put tires on with 3 to go after the track was fully rubbered in and there was no one around him. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, of course he has the fastest lap. Which, cool. Absolutely. I'm all for that. You're a one off driver. Go get something. Do
yeah,
say that you got something done. However, let's not act like he was ever a contender. The highest I think he ever got was like 16th on the leaderboard. Still
probably in a
impressive.
pit cycle too.
So, but K Mag, thank you for coming. I don't think he's ever going to come back after all of this,
Yeah,
but
see, I would say see you
um,
next time, but probably not happening.
so it's unfortunate. I do
Next
hope
time,
that
pony up and bring Max Verstappen.
I do hope that there are more. I don't even want to just say Formula One drivers. I hope there are more like world renowned drivers that want to come and race NASCAR as a one off because it's a very fun series. This was a very very fun race, even though Kevin Magnussen was completely overmatched by the entire Cup Series field.
Well, yeah, that's acceptable, I would say. for your
Yeah.
first time in like that equipment.
Which, to be fair, it was as even of a playing field as he's ever going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Now, yeah, until we go back to a first time road course, anyone else is going to be even at a worse disadvantage.
and I think it just really calls into just how impressive SVG's win was. Coming in, never raced these cars before. I get that the Australian supercars are basically the same thing as the
Yeah,
next
that's the
gen.
thing. It's he kind of get it's a wow. That's pretty impressive. Small asterisk.
Well, they're also supposed
You
to
wouldn't.
behave like sports cars, which is what Kevin Magnussen does for a living now. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Thanks for coming, K Mag. Probably won't see you again for a
See you
while.
never.
Um, and the incident, we kind of led the show with it, but we didn't talk in depth. Corey Heim finally gets revenge for his lost championship and spins Carson Hocevar in the chicane. Your thoughts on it, as all of Carson Hocevar's fans immediately were calling for blood and suspensions and
What? No
everything else.
way. All of the Carson fans that just started watching NASCAR after the Talladega win are calling for Corey Haim's head. What? No way. Yeah, totally valid. I think Corey timed that perfectly. I'd say they're
Heim
even.
time? Heim
I'd yeah.
time?
I'd say they're even.
I think, yeah.
Are they going to race each other extremely tough? And are they like? Do they probably not like each other at all? Both for pretty valid reasons. Yeah, but they're even.
Yeah, if anything, let's not forget, in that championship race, after Hocevar spun Heim, Heim did not have damage, but he did take him out of leading the race. And after
Yeah,
it was clear that he wasn't going to win, he did body slam both of them. So it's not like he hasn't wrecked Hocevar before, but this was the first time he's wrecked him when it matters.
when it meant
And
something.
I actually think that he sped up. It was so on purpose. It was like, oh, I misjudged the corner. Dang it.
That's what Denny was saying on his podcast, and I was like, wow, really. NASCAR officially explaining that one right there for the
The thing is,
review team.
he doesn't even have to do that because he's part time. What are they going to do? It's not
Yeah,
even like he's full time in like O'Reilly or trucks. He can just say, yeah,
yeah.
I wrecked him. I would respect that so much too if he's just like, you know what?
Yeah, I would too, but at the same time, probably shouldn't
It's
say
a bad
that.
look. I get it,
Yeah, probably shouldn't say that.
um, but we have, I think, for the first time in a while, we did have some like Hamlin Chastain was fun, or Chastain against half the field was very fun. But Larson and Hamlin had a thing for a while, but we have the potential for a true generational rivalry between Carson Hocevar, Corey Heim, and even a little bit of like if you throw a Ty Gibbs in there, there's enough beef. There's a three-way beef that could happen there. But
Yeah, and if we get some speed in Trackhouse, Zilisch.
Zilisch,
I don't know if he's got the personality for that. He's too nice.
too nice. Yeah. So I think though NASCAR has the golden opportunity to market their youth movement, especially if Hocevar and Heim are going to win races.
Yeah,
And I think they are. I like these two are the next two up, and they do not like each other.
and they both seem to be staying at their non-traditional powerhouse organizations.
Yeah.
Is there a changing of the guard, or is it just we just happen to have two run
Incredibly
off and cred
fast.
off at up and coming teams like that? Like, because Gibbs, there's still like not. I wouldn't say the guard is changing yet, but is that sun setting on the horizon to you? Because in my head, I'm like, I could kind of see it.
You think about who runs the big three organizations, and even beyond that, your legacy organizations. Not Legacy Motor Club, they don't count. But Rick Hendrick is older, to be polite. Richard
Just say he's
Childress.
old.
Richard Childress, I don't
Is
know how much.
old.
Roger Penske.
Is old.
Joe Gibbs.
Is really freaking old.
How old are Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan?
Not that old.
And I mean, Spire is run by a conglomerate.
Yeah,
So, yes,
by
they
a
have
mega
figureheads.
court.
They have figureheads, but I mean, they're young. It's a youth
Yeah,
movement with a lot of money.
yeah.
So, I
I'm just
absolutely could see
saying.
that. I could absolutely see that where you have these teams take over because they're just ran by people with more stamina,
Yeah.
and
Not that
more.
the big boys are probably ever going anywhere in terms of like it's not like they're just gonna like you know
But we've been in like
Mr. Stark, I'm not feeling so good and fade into the distance.
but it's been an incredible run for the big like 3 or 4 teams,
Yeah,
including Stuart Haas in there because they were once on the same level as those other 3. But it's it's kind of a crazy thing, and maybe 2311 Spire, Toyota Chevy. I still have high hopes for a Trackhouse to make a run this year, but you could really make the argument that Joe Gibbs Racing, Penske, and Hendrick, none of them are the best team for their manufacturer this year. I think
yeah.
the hardest one to
The hardest one to argue would probably be Hendrick. I think,
because I mean Hendrick only has one driver with a win. He's got 2, but Spire has 2
but
wins.
over if you're looking at just at wins, yes. But I'm looking at like overall finishes. Like
Overall
Larson's been,
speed.
yeah,
Yeah,
they've been
Larson's
top.
been there.
They've been top fiving people to death. Byron's been out to lunch, and Bowman died, but
He died, came back, still kind of sleepwalking.
he died, came back, and looked really good, and then like semi passed away
Um,
in a really
so
good looking car this weekend.
yeah, very incredibly good looking car. Not speaking of Chase Elliott, Chase
Yeah,
Elliott has just been
he's been good. He was not good this
good.
week.
He was not good this week because I don't
He
know
also
what
got
happened.
wrecked.
I don't know what happened to Hendrick's road course program, but
They
it is
they left it in the
terrible.
track house garage or something.
I think they just emailed it to Spire along with all of the
There's a joke in there somewhere.
yeah. There's a joke about Spire in emails, but
Yeah,
it's just crazy how good like 2311 is at the road courses, how good Trackhouse is supposed to be at the road courses, how good Spire is comparatively to your big boys. And
yeah,
that road course success is bleeding over into the ovals.
yeah.
So something there. I did want to give a shout out because I'm trying to see where we are on this rundown. Um, we are okay. We're a good way through it, so we're good.
Yeah.
I was like, there's 37 minutes on the clock. I think we're only like a third of the way into the rundown. This is bad. But Zane Smith, he was once again fantastic. This is about the 5th or 6th week in a row, or at least like 5 of the last 6 weeks where he's had legitimate top 10 speed.
Yeah.
He wrecked out of I think Pocono and Michigan, but he was consistent. I don't think of him as a road racer, but like I mentioned at Chicago, the first time we went there, he was dueling SVG for the win. And Zane Smith is a pretty good driver. I said
He's
it.
got talent. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So Zane Smith, this is the stat. I mentioned there was a stat I found that I knew you did not know. So I'm
There
very
is one of those out there, believe it or not.
even though I am the statist, I am basically like I drive the show and everything, but we always make fun of Grant for being perpetually offline. I wish I could do that, but someone's got to know the news for the show.
That's right. We could just come on here and yap about nothing relevant. That'd be
We
fun.
do that. We do that like at least once a week.
That's true. We could just record the green room. That would be grossly irrelevant.
Zane Smith finished 4th at Naval Base Coronado.
Now that's a stat I didn't know.
So that at 4th, it gets weird though. That was the first top 5 for a Ford, not front row racing, not for Zane Smith, for a Ford since let's see what track this is. Texas.
That's a long time ago.
since Chris Buescher finished fifth
I was
at
about to say
Texas.
that was Busher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my gosh, Texas was last year.
or Texas was
It
May.
felt like it feels like it was last year.
Texas is May 3rd.
That's basically 2025.
So
It's almost as long ago as Larson's last win. Just
that
kidding. Larson's streak is way longer.
that is an absurd stat, though. Like you would have think just like that's one that until it was pointed out, I didn't even realize was a thing. That Ford had gone that
Someone,
long without a top five.
someone needs to set off Doug Yates' alarm clock.
So
Oh man, it's still snoozing.
top five at Naval Base Coronado. Just to just to quantify that for you. They went Pocono, Michigan, Nashville, Charlotte, the All-Star race at Dover, Watkins Glen with no top fives.
That's a lot of races.
So
That's a good 2 months at least, isn't it?
they went 6 races with
Almost 2 months.
yeah, 6 races with not a single top five across your entire manufacturer.
Oof.
So I know Ford's been struggling, but to quantify it like that is insane. They had good speed though at Coronado.
Yet they still have 2 drivers in the top 7 in points.
Yeah, but if you it's like, yeah, cool, you got 2, but there's 3 manufacturers. So I mean,
I know, but hearing that stat, you'd be like, they have like 1 guy in the top 10.
true. I mean, they have 2 or 3 guys in the top 16 though. Oh, sorry, 4 now because
I was about to say, Cindric and Priest are back in.
So, if you put like 2 of the top 7, that's acceptable. 4 of the top 16 is not. So, you got to figure it out, Ford.
Wake up.
Speaking of points, we kind of talked or mentioned the cut line and everything like that. Hamlin has now cut Reddick's points lead down to 8 against all odds, with Reddick
Freaking
being
insane,
leading
dude.
the race with 3 to go. And Hamlin, which to be fair, Hamlin, he had luck. Reddick cut a tire. However, it wasn't like they were that much different on speed. Like you mentioned that Hamlin thought Reddick was behind him. And
Because of pit cycle, yeah.
but Hamlin got very unlucky, made a bad decision with the pit cycle. Reddick got very lucky with the way the pit cycle ran around with Stenhouse.
Hamlin may have made a good decision because I don't think he would have made it.
Well, if he had
The last second he came back on the track because you have to make it all the way to that yellow
that's
pit
true.
line. That 50 yards, even though you can't go anywhere, that's not like the commit line. Like you have to be on pit road. Like, and he wouldn't have made it. There's no way. He would have been screwed if he would have stayed out, or if he wouldn't have stayed out. I think. So it sucks, but it saved him a penalty.
But Hamlin has been a very good road racer this year, like very underrated. As much as we like to clown on him, as much as Denny likes to talk about how he sucks at road racing,
He's just been driving. He's been driving at like early 2000s super speedways.
he is. He finished yesterday
14th, right?
14th,
Yeah.
takes away 23 points. He had a top 10 at Coda, finishing 10th, I believe, and came away 16th at Watkins Glen. So, for as much speed as he has on all the ovals, I mean, he's just doing enough on the road courses, and he's getting stage points. So, Denny's incredibly scary. We thought that Reddick would stretch the lead out a little bit over the next 2 weeks, or I guess yesterday in Sonoma, and Hamlin ate more into his lead.
Yeah, he cut it in half.
Again, is he just going to keep doing that every week, cut it in half, and he's just going to be like, oh, we gave
If he cuts it to Ford Sonoma,
that's so funny.
we're officially over. Everyone's cooked.
Well, that's the thing is, I totally believe that Reddick can run with him on ovals, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if he passes him, it's not over. Like, Reddick can still go out and win 2 races and keep pace.
I expect him to win Atlanta again.
I don't know. Atlanta, especially in the summer, is so unpredictable.
Yeah, but I watched him drive from 30th to first with three fenders
So,
in 3 laps. So you tell me.
um, but yeah,
I've never seen anyone roll through Atlanta like that. But total side note.
that's your points update at the top of the leaderboard. We do have a little bit of an update. Ryan Blaney still 133 points behind. Kyle Larson is now the top Chevy in
They're all
fourth.
snug right there. Then three.
And that's a big deal. I mean, I think Blaney is probably pretty safe in third. There is a chance 50 points is doable, considering you're only chasing one guy
Yeah.
over these last few races. But Larson, Gibbs, Elliott, that's a huge deal. There's a big difference. That's a 10-point difference, I believe, between fourth and fifth, maybe even more. So
And they're all within,
they're
two,
within
3 points of each other?
Yeah, they're all within 2 points of each other right now.
Yeah.
So huge deal to try and maximize right now. And we'll see. Though I'll bring this up, and it might be something we bring up actually next episode because I didn't brief you on it at all. And I'll talk about it in the green room after. But we'll move on to the last bit on our docket here. We believe. How do you think this race went? Was it good racing? Like, do you think that NASCAR should do this event again?
Yes. But it is an active Navy base, and I don't know if we'll be able to do it that often.
Well,
That's the thing.
That's exactly what Ben Kennedy said. So
Yeah. It's like it was. I thought it was unbelievable. I wish we could race here every year. I mean, it was awesome.
it's perfect. It's in Southern California.
Yeah,
It's
the weather
just,
was great. I mean, you attract a lot of new eyeballs. I
um,
mean,
I think
it
Ben
was
Kennedy
it was
said,
awesome.
ironically, 67% of the ticket buyers, it was their first time attending a NASCAR race. And they saw an uptick, I think, 25% more women than normal and 11% more Hispanic than normal, which people were talking about. Oh, well, you shouldn't be worried about demographics. It's like, yeah, you get that every time you do anything in marketing. Like,
Yeah, that's like the whole point.
typical.
Also, I heard the lines at the merch haulers were unbelievable, like
I
so
also
long.
heard the trying to go and use the toilet also was kind of sucky,
Yeah,
but there were a lot of celebrities.
yeah, that makes sense. I feel like there's not the best accommodations there, considering
Active naval base.
it's a military base and not an event venue.
But everyone who posted stuff, like influencer, and I don't know how much they're paid to be there, or if it's just like here's free tickets. Because let's be honest, Travis Kelsey and them are not paying to go watch a NASCAR race.
No,
Like it's an invite.
yeah,
But everyone who had anything to say that was like
but
a
we're also in the
celebrity,
middle of mini camp right now, so
yeah. But
that's a long way from Kansas City.
and you got both Mahomes and Kelsey.
Yeah,
So,
so
but you had them. Yeah, Jason Kelsey. I felt they
I wonder
actually.
if is Jason Kelsey on NFL on Prime?
Uh
Because that could have
I
been
think he's.
that could have been through that. Now that I think about
I
it,
think
but
it's
still,
ESPN.
maybe
He did.
regardless,
He did that stuff with Hendrick at
I'm
Talladega.
thinking of Whitworth. I think
I think so. Um, he did the stuff with Hendrick at Talladega where he was a fuel man for Corey Day
yeah,
and went to Victory Lane and all that. But I actually thought Kay Adams, that was hilarious. Everything, it shined a lot of light on the personalities for the drivers, especially Carson Hocevar, who was waving at her in the pace car, and she picked it up and tried to get her number and everything because it's Carson Hocevar. So yeah, but that was a good thing for the sport. I think it was a very good look at doing something new that also felt authentic
yeah,
to the sport. Um, I do think that I don't think they're going to do this next year. I think this
no,
is very much a one-off. They've been very vocal about wanting to go back to Mexico City
ugh.
in the next few years, but
No thanks.
And the World Cup is what killed that. I think it could work. You just have to make it work logistically. Like you can't do what they did last year. Was like Michigan, Pocono, Mexico. Like you need to do
Yeah,
it like before, or like after, like right around Phoenix or Texas. Like that works better.
yeah.
Um, but we'll see. I do think though that NASCAR, instead of going to more traditional road courses, and I think that there are definitely some purpose-built venues in the US that are amazing and NASCAR should visit. I'm not saying we need to get rid of road courses. I would not mind if there were 2 street courses a year. I'll say it like that. Cuz they tend to, at least in the very limited sample size we have, produce better racing than our purpose-built road courses cuz it just makes the drivers more uncomfortable.
Yeah, they are a bit racier. I agree. I do tend to find myself more like leaned in on street courses, just because everyone's so on edge, especially this one where they're literally jumping the car.
It's so nice, and it allows you to hold an event in the middle of a populated city,
Yeah, it's like you're bringing it to people
and
that probably aren't watching it. Yeah,
it feels like a huge event
yeah,
whenever it happens. Like, and that's why I think they're so desperate to bring Chicago back. I do think if they do Chicago again, they should try a different layout. I like the last layout, but I think you need to do something to get the drivers on their toes a little bit because
so change
the
it up a little bit.
more they see a course, especially as easy, not to say it's an easy course, but I mean it's
Well,
all at 90
not
miles
very
an hour.
technical.
It's not a very technical road course or street course. Chicago, like the more you see it, it's going to get kind of boring.
Yeah,
And I think we did see that the last time, the last race, the third race there, that SVG just was so much better than the entire field. And this time, I think everybody was so uncomfortable that it led to just fantastic racing. You had a lot of, it was a bare knuckle boxing match for a majority of it. It was so close quarters, but then it wasn't tight the entire track, so there were places you could pass. It
yeah.
was a very, very well constructed course that I was skeptical of whenever they first announced it because I thought it was too long. I do think they can run. I actually don't mind these really, really, really long laps. However, they need to have a way, they need to have like a cutoff section for caution laps.
Like an alternate restart zone on the halfway through.
Or just you basically have like, you know how Coda, there's the full layout that F1 runs and that NASCAR used to run,
Yeah,
and now they cut about a mile off of it.
yeah,
Do it like that, where it's like you can run the full layout when it's green flag, or after we get everyone back in formation, we're just going to run the cut so we can get back to racing.
yeah.
Um, I don't think that that's too complicated at all. So,
You just have to. I don't know. Some of those courses may not have a cut through.
well, you're designing any street course you're designing is going to come
Have a street with a cut through.
like is going to have a you're designing it from the ground up, basically.
Yeah,
So, kind of there. Something that was interesting to me is that leaked publicly when just an example that Ben Kennedy was trying to make that NASCAR is very aggressive in trying to pursue new and interesting venues when it makes sense. And one of those that they had looked about and actually gone through some effort of trying to make a course and think logistically about how it could work was a street course across the Golden Gate Bridge. Um, which I have, well, there's
that's
that. Except, one, there's only 2 bridges that cross the bay there. So you would have to shut down the Golden Gate Bridge in for at least a weekend, probably more. It would not be popular with San Francisco or anybody in the Bay Area because traffic already sucks. It would make it way worse with everyone having to cross the Bay Bridge. And
Can you
two,
imagine the draft? They're bump drafting on the Golden Gate Bridge.
and two, the only course you could make that is under 5 miles is a 3 mile long version of Martinsville.
Just.
Could you imagine?
Welcome to the mega paperclip.
Could you imagine the dive bombs? Also,
Yeah, figuratively and literally.
so many people would lose brakes though. Um,
That'd be pretty awesome. That also
but
just there's no way that would work.
there's no way. I don't think it would be safe, and I don't even know there's no real place to put a pit lane. Like, there's too much logistically wrong with it. But they were trying to prove a point that they are constantly looking for new and bold places to go, and I think that there is potential
What about the
for
San Mateo Hayward Bridge?
where's that
Right next to the Golden Gate Bridge, kinda.
possibly where it's just Golden Gate in the backdrop.
Yeah.
I think you have to make it. I do think though, if you're going to do this, you have to be able to sell it as a good course. If you go somewhere and you take off a date for a track that's had dates forever, it better be good racing. That's
Yeah.
about. I think that's about. I think that was a lot of. I mean, that was not really a big thing for Mexico City, but I think a lot of people are like, this racing's not good. I would just rather go and do Road America.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I
God,
don't
Golden
know.
Gate Bridge. I'm just looking at the map. That would be just absurd.
That blows me away that they even brought that up. But they said that their philosophy is there are no bad ideas when
Fair
bringing
enough.
it up, and then they will figure out if that idea is actually bad or not. So we also know that they attempted to try to sell the city of New York on a street course around Central Park.
What if
Um,
they raced on Alcatraz?
I don't think there's enough room. I mean, we maybe,
I just was looking. I was like, oh, they could do that. There's no way that would work.
but
New York would be kind of cool. I mean, it'd kind of suck, but it'd be kind of cool.
I think underrated. I remember when I visited Boston. In
Ooh,
Boston, some of those tunnels and stuff there in the middle of the city, I think you could have some really fun racing. But
I could come up with some cool spots.
I think Philadelphia. I think like if you're gonna get like a city, I think a lot of the cities in the Northeast will work really well because you have the grid systems.
Yeah,
But
I would say you can do a road course in Atlanta, but that's just how people drive down here, anyways.
and honestly, I'd rather go
And
to
the
Red
guy in the
Atlanta.
Hellcat has joined the race.
Dodge joined
Probably,
early. We
yeah.
weren't expecting them till next year.
Oh, it's
But
Cuervo.
yeah, no, rather than seeing Atlanta one because I drive through Atlanta, you drive through Atlanta. I like to put the suffering on behalf of others on other
One
people.
lap is 285.
That's just what they did at Coronado this past
Yeah,
weekend.
you have to pit on the belt line.
Oh, good lord! You get a penalty. You got to drive. You got to drive to Athens and back.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I still
so
just say go to Barber, please.
go to Barber, do Road Atlanta rather than that. But we can really think about it. I would my prediction, just off of looking at a map, I think you're going to get something in Portland or Seattle or Denver. So,
That'd be cool. Denver would be cool.
I just had an idea. I've not seen this proposed before, and there's no way it's legal.
What?
But while we're playing fast and loose with environmental protections, let's have a NASCAR race in Yellowstone or some other national park.
That'd be cool. I was around Mount St. Helens.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
That would, yeah, there's some
There's your P and W spot, or out like Olympic National Park and have like the back like have pit road on like U.S. Highway 1, like
you just
the Pacific Highway, the
you
PCW.
race around Niagara Falls, with half the track in Canada and half the track in the U.S.
That'd be cool. They just have to stop at Customs and Border Patrol every lap twice. Shane Van Gisbergen gets detained.
Only
Daniel
one of the only
Suarez is
ways.
not allowed in. So many jokes can be made. Kevin Magnussen, sorry man, probably the one to sit out.
Austin Hill has been deemed. Austin Hill wrecks somebody in turn 13, and when he tries to enter the state, they designate him as a terrorist.
Austin Hill's just elected president.
but I think that would be fun. And then ending it here, and kind of a point that you made. Well, no, we already talked about Heim versus Hocevar long term. That
Yeah,
it's just something that NASCAR needs to market the hell out of.
that fires me up. There's like an inkling inside of me that's like we might be like all the way back.
Well, just that the thing on Twitter this morning of Corey using Carson's own words against him, and then Carson just posting the picture from Dexter of just sitting there plotting. It's amazing. I
I
love it.
didn't see what Corey said. Shocking, I know.
Yeah, I figured um, you would. It was just the clip from where they were like, "What driver is most likely to cause a wreck?" And all of them said Carson Hocevar, and then Carson's like, "Well, just get the f off the way. If you weren't slow, if you weren't in front of me, it wouldn't be a wreck."
Oh,
Um,
there you
so
go. That's how I was watching it, and McKenna saw that, and she's like, "What do you think?" or whatever. We're talking about. She's like, "Hocevar got wrecked." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, see
what
how
goes
he
around
deals
comes
with being,
around.
see how he deals with being on this end of it."
Um, I have asked a lot of people this today. I've gotten a shocking amount of variation in the answers. I don't think I've gotten your official answer though.
You probably already know my official answer.
Of any young driver, who would be your first choice to build your team around? The five
Michael
I
McDowell.
very young, very young. I love him. Um, the five that I think are like actually you could make a case for here are Corey Heim, Connor Zilisch, Carson Hocevar, Zane Smith, and Ty Gibbs. Anyone outside of that, I don't really think there's a case for. But
I'd probably go high. I said this earlier. It's Heim or Zilic for me. I think I changed my mind on the Hocevar. I think he's really good, but I think I go Heim or Zilic. I think Zilic is just being. I think it's like a fantasy football post hype sleeper. It's like when the guy everyone hypes up kind of sucks, and then like the next year he's really good, and no one wanted him because he sucked the year before, but maybe
yeah,
it wasn't his own fault. I feel like that's where we are with Zilic.
I could see that.
So
And
those I'd go Heim or Zilic, and plus look at what they did last year, both of them.
yeah,
I mean,
and
was it they both had 12 wins?
I think Zilic
One
had
of them,
12 and Heim had 11, or
yeah,
Heim
it
had
was
12 and
they
Zilic
either
had
had
11.
11 or 12, or they both had 12.
Um,
Ridiculous.
something. So Nikolai said that he would take Zilic one, and then oh, I gotta go take this. I gotta look through our conversation today because we bounced all over the place. Because we were debating Quentin Tarantino soundtracks towards the end, just to give you a glimpse into
Don't
that
make me do it
man's
again.
mind. So his list: Zilic, Heim 2, Ty Gibbs 3, Hocevar 4, Zane Smith 5.
I can understand that.
Um, personally, I had Zilic 1, Hocevar 2, Heim 3, Smith 4, Gibbs 5. Um, but I also had, I mean, there were people who said I'd take Ty Gibbs number 1.
I'd
Um,
probably go. My official 5 would probably go. Is it pretty much standard to have Zane Smith fourth or fifth?
yeah, I just don't think the problem is we just haven't seen him in good enough
Yeah,
equipment to
I'd
really.
probably go Heim, Zilich, Hocevar, Gibbs, Smith.
Um,
I think Ty Gibbs has had the best equipment by far.
I think he's done the least with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, if you put honestly, even Zane Smith with what he's done in front row equipment, put any of those other four in there, I don't know if it's taken them that long. And I know Ty Gibbs was pretty overdue. Like he just had some bad luck on some stuff for like his first race win and stuff like that. But I mean, he was missing the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, which different era. I mean,
But
there
still,
were some fluky stuff there, but still,
yeah. But it wasn't like he was on the cut line most of the time. It felt like, was he? I mean, it
he
usually
was
it was
on the in
it
the
was
current
typically like
system. He would have made it.
yeah.
So it's just winning you're in kind of ruins a lot of things.
Tell me about it.
Ross Chastain fan here, I'm aware. But
Yeah.
I think I said that no outside of those five, I mean, then you're looking at like Corey Day, who cool, lot of talent. I don't think he's ready for the Cup Series,
No.
so I can't compare him to any of those five who have at least shown glimpses of
I wouldn't be interested
super
in even
sharp.
having that conversation yet.
And then like Jesse Love, who our mutual friend brought up as his third option, mind you.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, I don't. That doesn't compute to me. Someone who only has 3 wins in the
it's,
O'Reilly
it's it's
Series,
it's probably the championship boost, even though he didn't deserve it. I mean,
just
he deserved it. He won the race, but he didn't deserve it in the grand scheme of things.
I don't understand that. Like he
I'm
went.
not. I'm not a big.
I'm not
I
super
should.
high.
I shouldn't say I'm not a big Jesse Love guy because I like him as a person and a driver. Never really met him. I shouldn't say as a person. I'm sure he's a great guy, but not as a prospect.
I just don't know what he is. I can't compare him to something that I feel like are known quantities,
He's
and
skinny Austin Hill.
that's a conversation for that'll really get you going. Brent Cruz. I mean, his first
That guy's going to be a dog, dude.
dog. I do enjoy
That
that.
guy's going to be a dog.
I do
He's going to
enjoy
be
that
good.
as soon as Christopher Bell climbed out of his car said, "No, I'm not driving riding with anybody else," and just blew up.
Dude, Brent Cruz is going to be another. He's going to be another problem. That guy's legit.
Um,
I should say that guy. That kid is legit. He's like 18.
but then outside of that, I mean, like Lane Riggs,
You mean
Chandler
Lane
Smith,
Van Rigsbergen?
yes, Lane Van Riksbergen. Good lord, he's so good at sprint courses. It's kind of so fun. It's so funny how he just lucked into that at the end there. But I um I think it has to be one of those five. If it was a 4-team fantasy league, I would be very happy to take the turn. I'll say it like that. I would be very
Yeah,
happy
you
to
take
take
the
the full
back end
five.
of that.
And take if you're giving me Zane Smith and then other, I'm totally fine with that. If my equipment's good, because I think Zane Smith might be better than all of them if you gave him equal equipment.
Now that is a bit of a hot take.
I'm just saying I'm still very, very high. I might be Zane Smith's strongest soldier right now. Um
Have you seen the guy that reviews paint schemes?
we're even on that, Tyler. But I don't know. I'm still on the Spire should go and get him.
Oh, that'd be sick. I'd be all
Could
for that.
Suarez? Oh, that's just a really fun lineup. Suarez, Hocevar, Zane Smith, Cinema.
That would be sick. They'd be That's another. Like I said, team of the future.
I don't know how many times. I don't know how often they finish, but I know they're going to be fast.
Yeah.
So be very entertaining. But I think that's it. We ran down our rundown. Um, took us a while. There was a lot to talk about. I don't think that we
A
wasted
lot
really
to
any
talk
time.
about.
I don't think we really like went on too many side rants today. We didn't get off
Not
track
really.
that much. There was there was
Just
a
a
lot going on.
big day of a lot of points to talk about. I mean,
So
can't imagine there'll be that many coming out of Sonoma. That's
what
just what happens when SVG gets wrecked out.
we're gonna actually the next time we race on an active military base is when we go to the moon in 2027.
The SpaceX 500.
They actually bought the entire moon.
We're going to Mars,
At the
baby.
rate that they're on. So, Grant, would you like to take us out?
It doesn't sound like I have much of a choice.
I mean, you always have a choice, but
I'll politely accept. I should take us out. You know what? For me and my great friends at Appalachia Outfitters in Apalachicola, Florida, go check them out.
not a sponsor, could be.
Not a sponsor, should be. If they did, I'd faint. Even though they couldn't give me anything I don't already own, because everything I own is from that store. From Cayden, myself, And allegedly, our friends down in Apalachicola, Florida, this has been the Tribal Office.
And we will be seeing you next time.